Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is Tuesday, December 23rd, almost the end of the year. Welcome to our Tuesday edition of our Leadership Development Call. My name is Miriam Kareem, and I'm so happy to have you all here so that we can get some great, insightful information. Are usually um, designed to really make you think about why you're doing your business and whatever. You could be missing, or some things you may not even thought about. But a quick trip to the newbie corner. So I want to tell you guys a story. And this story is about two distributors, okay? Distributor A and distributor B. We just say that. So distributor A, they're both out prospecting, the way that they normally do. Distributor A approached a person and gave him some information when they asked, had developed a rapport with the person, found out what the person's needs were and made some suggestions, gave them some great information um, about what some of the problems the person may have been having, and so forth. Then we have distributor B um, out prospecting just like distributor A, but distributor B had a different approach. They just um, would just say, "Hey, buy my products, buy my stuff. Don't buy from distributor A, buy from me." And so when it came to it, distributor A, you know, asked the person, "Hey, they were just discussing something." They said, "Well, distributor B mentioned it to me too," and I said, and distributor A says, "Well, maybe you should if distributor B um talk to you, then you should go, get your product from them, and so forth." So the prospect, this is key, you guys. The prospect tells distributor A, "Well, this is the thing. You, talking to distributor A, you have followed up with me, followed up with me. You gave me great information about the product, and distributor B did not. So I would rather work with you, distributor A." So I hope you guys were listening and learned something from that to make sure that you develop a rapport, that you develop that trust with the person, that you give them information, what they need and what not what you want them to have, but what's relevant to them, with their issue that they may be having, and make sure you follow up, not hound the person, but just let them know, "Hey, I'm still here." Maybe send them a message saying, "Hey, so and so, I know we didn't get to connect yesterday. We got busy, but I really would love to get you going, with this. So let me know when you're available." Something simple like that, and the person will definitely appreciate that you are keeping that connection going. So I hope that was helpful. So now I'd like to bring to you our teacher tonight, and that would be Coach Seymour Greenidge Blake. He is an amazing um, six-figure earner with our green organics company. Um, amazing. Always has great information, um, mentor like information to make you really think about what you could be doing wrong in your business, how your approach could be wrong, and also how how you can keep consistent with your business and why you're doing your business. Coach Seymour Greenwich Blake is an amazing person. He is a veteran of the U.S. Air Force, um, grandfather, a father, just amazing. And when you meet him in person, you feel like you've known him forever. So, Coach Seymour Greenwich Blake, are you available, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I am. Thank you, Miriam, for your
You're
introduction. I
welcome.
really appreciate it. And thank you for being here every Tuesday to give us that newbie corner stories that you give us every weekend. I mean, they all make sense. They all make sense. And all you have to do is listen to what she's saying Don't just listen, act upon what she's telling you to do. Because I'm telling you, I watched Miriam when she first started. And looking back now and where she's at today, and one of the reasons she's where she's at today is because she acted upon the system that we have in place with Green Organics. And I'm telling you, if you do that and you follow the system, you step by step, and be consistent about it and don't quit, you can be in the same path that she's in. So, Miriam, I take my hat off to you also for what you have been doing for this company and doing for yourself and your family. And it comes from here from me. Very, very proud of you. Very proud of you. So, with that said, um, today's topic is going to be why you should give your network marketing business at least 5 years. I hope you heard what I said. 5 years. Okay. So if you have your pens and paper, make sure you be ready because I want you to take some notes. If you're not able to take notes, when Coach Marcos posts this up as the replay, go back, listen to it, take the notes, and follow the instructions. That's all it takes to make it in this company. You got to be coachable and you got to be teachable and you got to want it. That's the main thing. You got to want it. Okay, so with that said, let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera so I can pay attention to my notes. Uh, and I hope today that I reach somebody. I hope I reach somebody. So like I said, why you should give your network marketing business at least 5 years. And like every week, I start with a question. You don't have to answer, but maybe you want to at least answer this to yourself. And my question to you is this. If you knew it would take 5 years to completely change your financial future, to change your bloodline, or even 5 years to create time freedom, debt freedom, and legacy. Would you quit in your first year? And I ask that question because that's what most people do. They don't quit because the business doesn't work for them. Because number one, the business shouldn't be working for you. You should be working for the business. They also quit because they don't understand how long real success actually takes. So tonight, it's not going to be about hype to hype you up. I'm here tonight to ground you, bring you back to reality. And the reason for that is because hype fades, but truth builds leaders. So let's get started with this. And I want to make this clearly to you. Network marketing is not fast money. It's not a side hustle. It's not lottery ticket. And it's definitely not a get rich quick scheme. Network marketing is a profession. And every real profession requires what? Time. If you want some facts, here are some facts. A doctor has to study for 8 to 12 years before they start to earn consistently. Did y'all hear what I said? 8 to 12 years. Some of us don't even want to give it 5. Lawyers study for 6 to 8 years. Engineers, they study for 4 to 6. And those athletes that a lot of you will sit and watch make millions of dollars, but won't put an hour into your business, they train for decades before they start to hit their prime. But again, people join network marketing and quit within 90 days. Yes, I said 90 days. And I know it's not the first time y'all heard that. You've been on Coach Will's teachings, you will hear him say the same. The question that you have to ask yourself is why? Why within 90 days they quit? And most of the time it's because they came in with an employee expectation trying to build an ownership future. You don't build ownership with shortcuts, guys. You build it with time, with consistency and growth. Well, like I said last week, make sure your consistency is the right consistency. Make sure it's a consistency that going to create growth in your business, that going to create compounding in your business, not the consistency of procrastination. Not the consistency of procrastination. Make sure it's the right one. And here's the part that nobody tells us. Nobody tell you when you sign up with network marketing. So tonight, I won't be the one to tell you. The first few years, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. They're about who you are becoming. And I can prove that to you, like I said yesterday, if you were on the call yesterday. When I got involved with Green Organics, it took me 3 years to make $5,000. 3 years. When I went to my first event in Nashville, I was at $5,000. I went back 3 years ago. 3 years later in September with over 6 figures in income. So again, the first few years is not about the money. It's about who you're becoming. And I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you that if you put in the work, you will see the results. This business doesn't just pay you guys. It also reprograms you. Okay? It prepares your mind. It get it ready for what is ahead. But for that to happen, you have to set your mind for it. That's why it's called a mindset. It teaches you how to talk properly, the right way, say the right things. It teaches you how to hear no without folding, because that's a big thing. People hear no and they get discouraged. But if you put in the time and you take the time to learn the system that we have in place, a no wouldn't even bother you. It also shows you how uh, it shows up. It shows you how to show up without waiting for people to applaud for you. Okay, you don't have to wait for that. You don't have to wait for that motivation. If you put in the time and follow the system, you will see the results. It also teaches you how to believe in reaching your goals before evidence start to exist. But most people quit before that transformation finishes. Please don't let that be you. Please don't let that be you. If you was to check with every leader on this call, every single leader that we have on this call, I can guarantee you, if they're not coming up on 5 years in the business, they already been 5 years or more in this business. And they can tell you that what I'm saying is true, it's facts, it's proof. Okay. So let me tell you about why people quit. People don't quit. They don't quit the company. Sometimes they don't even quit the products or the compensation plan. They quit because of discomfort. They quit because of discomfort. And there are 3 reasons people quit early. Number one, the biggest one, ego. They come into this company with network marketing industry, years in the industry, and feel like they need to come in and do it how they did it in their past or in their previous ones. They come in thinking that, I shouldn't have to struggle. I'm smarter than this. Some people come in saying people should already respect me. That's ego. But be honest, guys, struggle is a tuition for leadership. You have to struggle, you have to fail. Most people that is successful in life, they fail several times in their life. KFC failed 1,000 times before he became successful. Okay? What if he would have quit within 90 days? We won't have Kentucky Fried Chicken right now. Okay? So stop giving up on yourself. Number two, inconsistent action. They say that they want freedom, but they work like it's a hobby. They'll go to work and put in 10, 12 hours building somebody else's business and come home and say they're too tired to put 1 hour into their own. All they need is 1 hour. That's 7 hours a week, guys, 28 hours a month. That's only 1 hour. But you'll go out there and put in 80 hours for somebody that you can't stand sometimes, complain about all the time, but you're not tired or you're not, worrying about doing that job, not worrying about building that business. If you don't build your own, somebody gonna hire you to work theirs. So put that in your mind and realize that that's reality. I was brought up by my dad told me never call another man your boss because whoever you call your boss is who control your income. I will call you by your title, but I will not ever call you or introduce any of my family or anybody to you as my boss. My boss is my two kids and my grandkids. That's who I work for. And my last name, that's my boss. That should be yours too. Okay? Freedom don't come from hobby efforts, guys. You don't get paid to do a hobby. You get paid to run a business. Number three, and this is a big one, a big, big one, identity. They never decide who they are going to become. They stay a consumer trying to build a business. Let me say this slowly, guys. You don't fail because you lack talent. You fail because you never became the leader your business required you to be. I always tell myself, be the leader that you will follow. And if I have that mindset that I'm going to be the leader that I will follow myself, I know I'm going to be a good leader. So you have to, you have to put it to your mind that that's who you want to be and that's what you want in life. Because progress is invisible before it becomes visible. You don't see confidence growing. You don't even hear a tree in the woods grow, but you see it. Okay? You don't see confidence growing, guys. Believes is strengthening. Rejection tolerance is going to start to increase. But one day you wake up and realize that you are not the same person anymore. And that's when income start chasing identity. That's when it starts to chase your identity. Let me break this down for you a little bit because I'm going to tell you clarity removes frustration. Your first year in the business, that's called survival. You're learning, you're learning the products, you're learning the language, you're learning how to take rejection, but most of all, you're learning discipline. So it's called survival. And if you was brought up in a home that discipline was included, this shouldn't be a problem for you. I remember joining the military and I watched people get mad when people was in their face, yelling at them. But you know why they got mad? Because they weren't disciplined at home. Him yelling in my face, I realized that all he was doing was trying to get in my head. And I was not going to allow that because I was going to make my parents proud. So if you're disciplined, you shouldn't have a problem building this business. You shouldn't. You're planting seeds, you won't harvest yet if you don't have that. Year two is competence. You stop sounding nervous. You're getting trustworthy now. Okay? You stop chasing everybody. Now they start to chase you. You start attracting instead of convincing people. You'll be surprised how many people I've signed up in this business that I never approached them. They reached out to me because they were and say, I've been following you on Facebook, man, and I see you doing big things over there. It's because of how you carry yourself. You don't have to chase them anymore. They start coming at you. I want to do what you're doing. I want to lose the weight like you lost the weight. I want to get healthier like you did. But for that to happen, it takes time. Okay. It takes time. Now you're going into year three. That's called momentum. Residual income starts to show up. Your team start duplicating and you start to feel traction. I've been in the green organics company for 6 years now. My other company, I'm a six-figure income earner there. I have not, I have not talked about my first business that I am also involved with in the last 6 years. But you know what still comes every time? Residual income. Because at the beginning, I worked hard and then I started working smart. And now, because of that, I still receive residual income from that company. And I have not talked about it to anyone for the last 6 years. I have people that still join me, but my thing is green organics because that's where the real system is. That's where we have real mentors, we have real leaders that helps you. Not to say the other company don't, but in this company, if you work the business, you follow your mentor, the real mentors now, because trust me, there have some guys out there, ladies out there that's they just out for the money, and they will lie to you. My first, the one that brought me in the green organic tool, the HBN did that. But I'm glad I didn't quit because of that. I'm glad that I found some new mentors and some new leaders and started following their footsteps. Surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with people that are successful, that are where you're trying to get to. Not telling you to stop being friends with your friends that you have in life right now. I'm just telling you, find the people that are where you want to be. And once you find them, start to pick their brain. Find out what they did to get where they're at. Don't try to do what they're doing right now because you might be broke. But find out what they did to get to where they're at today in life. And watch what can happen. But you have to set your mind to it, guys. You have to put in the time. You got to give yourself some time. Okay. Number four, your year four is stability. Systems work. Leaders train leaders. Like I said earlier, be the leader that you will follow. And then income becomes predictable. Then year five is what we call freedom. Freedom. Right before I went to Vegas last year, which I celebrate my 5-year anniversary in Vegas last year, I found freedom before that. I was able to walk away from my job and not worry about anything. And let me tell you guys, the job that I walk away from, I don't get a retirement payment from that job. I don't get a retirement payment from that. But because I was able to follow the footsteps, the system that we have in place and stuck by it, I don't worry about I'm gonna pay my mortgage because I know it's gonna get paid. I don't worry about my utilities because now I got time freedom, something I always dreamed of. But when I was working my tail off and working and putting in the time for somebody that didn't care about me, COVID came. Everybody got sick on the job, every single officer, including the director. And I had to stay in that building for 30 days and work around the clock, 24 hours for 1 full month. And then they come back and gave me 97 cents raise and $100 gift card. That night, I told them they could take that and you know what they could do with it. And that was my last day because I was not going to keep doing that. Putting in the time and the hours for somebody that didn't care about me. I was a number. And when you start realizing that you are just a number, because I guarantee you, me leaving there didn't stop them from rehiring somebody to fill my spot. When you know your worth, you will notice your income increase. But you got to put in that work, guys. You want the freedom. You no longer trade hours for dollars. Your examples speak louder than your words. Now, here is the dangerous part. Most people quit in year 1 or 2 and then restart from zero somewhere else. A lot of you on this call know a lot of people like that. And they start over and over and over. And next thing you know, you hear people on Facebook talking about, man, this is the best thing ever. And then that's a year later, they're talking about something else that was better. And these were mentors that were telling people on the call, stop jumping around from business to business. Stop going after those shiny objects. But I've watched these same people always jumping around and going something. Man, you'll hear some of them come on there and say, man, I'm done with network marketing. And then 6 months later, they're back on there again with a Facebook Live about, man, you need to join this business. Stay focused. Stay focused. That's all I can say, guys. Stay focused. And we got a product for that. Use it. Quitting doesn't reset the system, it resets you. That's what we got to start understanding. It resets you when you quit, not the system, because the system will still keep going. So let's talk a little bit about numbers, because math does not lie. If you enroll just 2 people a month and teach them to do the same and only half stay consistent, in 5 years, you don't have a side hustle, you have an asset. And I hope you heard what I said. You don't have a side hustle. And all you got to do, I know we teach 3, but I'm just giving an example that if you did 2 people a month and teach them to do the same thing and only half of them stayed consistent, in 5 years, you have asset. And I'm talking compounding. It might be slow at first. It might be even boring at first, but you know what? It feels unfair at first, but later it becomes inevitable. I got my other business in 2014. I'm still with it, and I'm still receiving residual income because of what I did at the beginning and taught my people to do the same. And because of that, I'm still receiving residual income from that company. And I'm definitely still receiving residual income from the company that I'm with now for the last 6 years. Again, people don't quit because they expect compounding results without compounding time. I mean, not they don't quit. They quit because they expect compounding results without compounding time. Let me give you a true bomb. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. And a lot of people, once they join a business, within hours, their clock is starting to go counterclockwise because they're listening to people out there, the naysayers, the haters that tell them that it's not going to work. And their quitting clock starts immediately. Don't let that be you. Please don't let that be you. Okay. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. They quit right before momentum, right before leadership clicks, and right before belief solidifies. Time rewards those who stay. How many of you have seen that graphic of the 2 guys that are picking on some rocks? And they're picking at rocks and picking at rocks. And one guy on one side gave up. And if you'd have picked maybe 2 or 3 more times, you would have hit those diamonds that was on the opposite side of him. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. This business does not expose your talent. It exposes your discipline. It reveals excuses, emotional control, and consistency. Motivation fade. Discipline stays. 5-year builders don't wait to feel like it. They show up tired. They show up discouraged. They show up anyway. I didn't earn 6 figures because I just came in and took all my years of network marketing and said, this is how I was going to do HBN. Like I told y'all on a call before, I had an individual that we were talking. He's been with me since November 14th of 2019. I tell you the dates when my people come in. That's how serious I am about my people. I signed him up on November 14th, 2019. So this man, and I came in on October 27th, 2019. So you see how soon he came. He came in after I brought my family in first. Okay. I put him on my strong side. This man has only earned about $2,000 in commission in the last 6 years. And we were talking, and I don't want to say, well, he said he was from Philly. I'm the show me state. Okay, I'm from the show me state, and I don't like to be like everybody. I like to do things my way. I don't like to do what everybody do. And I say, you know what? Yeah, I understand where you're coming from because I'm that way too. I don't do what everybody do. But I said I had to change that when I got involved with this business because I had to start following the system and start following what everybody was doing that was being successful. And his question to me was this: how did that make you feel that you had to stop doing the way things you like to do it and start doing it the way somebody else wanted you to do it? I said, before I answer that question, let me ask you the same question. How does it feel for you not want to follow the system and keep doing it your way? Been in the business 6 years and I have not earned over $2,000. And he got quiet. And he said, bro, that's cold. I said, no, that's reality. I said, when I was doing it my way, it took me 3 years to make $5,000. When I started following the system and doing it the way that I was taught to do it by somebody else, it generated over six figures for me. So I felt good about changing, doing the things my way and start doing it the way the system is showing me how to do it the right way. And the conversation kind of ceased after that. He didn't want to talk anymore because his feeling was hurt. But reality sometimes hurt. It's not, well, the truth always hurt when you're not expecting it to. Okay. Your identity shifts from I am trying to this is who I am. And once identity locks in, results will start to follow, guys. Stop having that lottery thinking mentality. I want fast money. Legacy builders want freedom for generations. Lottery thinkers avoid pain. Legacy builders accept growth. Lottery thinkers quit early. Legacy builders outlast doubt. So let me ask you something. Is 5 years really too much to ask to change your life forever? Answer that question to yourself. Is 5 years really too long to ask to change your life forever? 5 years of discipline beats 20 years of regrets because you don't want to look back 5, 10, 10, 15 years from now and say, man, look at all these people that stayed in and look at, they're all seven-figure earners now. And if I'd have just stayed and do what they taught me to do, maybe I could have been there too. But I gave up before my 5 year time. Don't let that be you guys. 5 years of focus beats a lifetime of what if. You don't need perfect timing. You need commitment. That's what you need. So we're closing. I want you to hear this very clearly. Give this business 5 years, not because it's easy, but because quitting has never worked before for anyone. So I want you to decide tonight, I'm not testing this. I'm not going to try this. I'm going to build this. 5 years from now, your future self will thank you. You're not going to thank me. You're going to thank yourself. And it's going to remind you that you quit too soon. And if you quit too soon, you're going to regret it. So choose legacy. And I hope that you do too, because that's what I choose. With that said, back to you, Miriam.
Wow. You all please give Coach Seymour some love in the chat. I am just, he really, thank you so much for that. Um,
You're welcome.
I needed to hear that. I know I did. I'm not going to pretend like I have it all together because I don't, but I needed to hear that. And I mean, if I could just maybe book a session with you once a week and bring you some barbecue or something. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, it's so impactful. He really, really makes you think about what you're doing wrong, not with the next person, but what you're doing wrong, or what you're, where you need improvement. So thank you so much for that, Coach Seymour. I got a lot of notes, and I am going over these notes. So thank you so much.
You're
Um,
welcome.
now, Coach Will is in the building, you guys. So I hope he has some insightful information for us as well. You all know he is a multiple seven-figure earner in the network marketing world, a seven-figure earner at our green organics company at HBN, and our first six-figure earner at Godisana, an amazing, amazing teacher, always has great information for us. And I'm sure he's got some notes too. So Coach Will Sanders, are you available, sir?
I am, Miriam. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. And I want to thank you for your kind introduction and also for the newbie corner. We absolutely love it. And it's arguably my favorite part. Second only to Coach Seymour, I want to thank him as well for always bringing the wisdom and bringing the knowledge and bringing the insight of someone who is further along on the journey than a lot of people. So the things that he says, that's not theory. The things that Coach Seymour says comes from experience and wisdom and actually getting the result that a lot of people claim they want when they come into these businesses. And so we'll start with a couple different things tonight in the last 20 or so minutes. This is going to be our last Zoom until Sunday because of the Christmas holiday. So, Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates. We love you. We appreciate you. And even if you don't celebrate Christmas, the spirit of the season and just giving and Thanksgiving and family, and that's really what it's all about regardless. So thank y'all for that. And always keep the reason for the season in mind, not just the sacrifice of Christ, but the sacrifices that we all have to make, which are not on that level, obviously, but as an adult, as a parent, as a father, as a mother, as a daughter, as a business owner, there are going to be sacrifices that you're going to have to make in order to be successful. And this is a great reason, the season, to keep that in mind, just in life in general. But I want to tell you all a quick story as we get started. I was living in Dallas, Texas. Uh, I did not spend near as much time with Coach Seymour and Miriam as I should have back then. We were still all kind of getting to know each other and things of that nature. But I can tell you what an amazing feeling is in reference to residual income. I was living in a luxury penthouse apartment in Dallas at the time, and I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that on the first of the month, enough commissions were going to come in to pay every bill I had. And for people who are wondering, man, it's so much work. I don't know if I want to keep, listen, regardless of whatever work you think it takes. And it's just talking to people in person, online, however you want to talk to them. It's just talking to people. I want to tell you, there is a day when you will be able to have every single bill for the entire month paid first of the month. And everything you get from your job or for this business after that, you just keep it. You just say, I don't know what I want to do with that. That's a lot of money lying around. It's not, I'm not telling you that to impress you. I'm telling you that to inspire you to understand how valuable the residual income that Coach Seymour was talking about, how powerful it really is. If you've never had residual income that can take care of every bill for you and your family, like the first day of the month, second day, if you can't, if you don't, if you've never experienced that, it's hard to just say residual income or passive income. Put it in something tangible for you and just say, just take a couple deep breaths and just imagine, man, how would that even feel? It's not going to solve your relationship problems. It's not going to solve any spiritual journey you want. It's not going to do anything but take away money stress. And I can tell you personally, that's the beginning of freedom for a lot of people. When people have a chance, they don't have to work no more unless they want to. They get a chance to take control of their health. They get to spend more time with their family. Your personal relationships with your kids and your grandkids and your spouse, if you have one, is going to be better. it's so, whatever work you think you got to put in over the next 6 months, 6 years, it is worth it, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's worth it. Okay, I just want to put that out there and let you know it is 100% worth it. Please do not quit. Uh, I don't think I've ever had a day where I really like wanted to quit. I've had some bad days in this industry. Everybody does, but I don't really think it's ever been to the time of nah, bump it. I'm gonna just focus on the next job. And I just have never had that happen because I had people in my life when I was at the same level a lot of you are at that continued to they didn't show off. They just politely reminded me of what I had to look forward to if I was one of those percentages of people who complete the journey. All right. And as far as somebody mentioned a t-shirt, yeah, the t-shirt, the 4% t-shirt, just to tell you where it comes from Coach Marcus made this. Thank you, Coach. It comes from the 80-20 rule. And that's a foundational principle in business and entrepreneurship that everybody should understand and have a polite reminder of every once in a while. You got 100% of the people in any profession, be it sports or acting or corporate America, 100% of the people. 20% of the players on any team score 80% of the points. 20% of the actors in Hollywood make 80% of the money. 20% of the people on any team or any business, they create 80% of the volume. So you really want to strive to become a 20%er. One of the people that actually moves the needle forward, one of the people who's not going to quit because they don't want the boat to be heavier for everybody else, okay? But within that 20%, you have another 80-20% split, and you have the 16% and the 4%. And when I first understood that concept, me and Coach Mark was talking about it, and Coach Seymour was, man, I want to be in the top 20% of the top 20%. I want to be in the top 4%, not just in earning, but in value and giving back and continuing to build this business and being the type of, sponsor or mentor or whatever that I wish I had when I first got started. Even when you get financially straight, there are some of you who will fade off into the distance and say, you know what, I love it. I'm going to keep getting this residual income. And then you have other people that say, you know what, I'm going to double down and I'm going to contribute even more. I'm going to work even more, not just to build my income even more, but to make sure as many people as want to come on this journey can come. So when you see people like Miriam and Coach Seymour and Coach Marcus and Coach Tina just continuously pouring into the community, regardless of who team you on or they on, that's 4% of behavior. All right. Another thing that I realize nowadays, a lot of times we tell y'all what we do and what we currently do, but sometimes we forget to mention what we did to get in the position to do the things that we currently do. And one of those is having that 5-year mindset, like Coach Seymour talked about. It may not take you 5 years. Let me just be clear. It might not. But if you don't have the 5-year mindset, it will not work for you in no period of time at all. It's just about you developing the mindset and the skill set to be able to really put your foot on the gas. And that's when it can go really, really fast for you. Coach Will, how do we do that? You attend these calls and watch videos and attend events and you learn. So one of the things that I always did when I first started out, I was so broke, so hungry to just do it. I ignored a lot of formal education that came with this industry. I didn't have the same amount of time and resources as other people have. I had to make a move and I had to make it quick. And I was very, very hungry. So some of the things I did, I'm not telling you to do this because of social media. You don't have to do it. I'm just telling you what I did. I put between 5,000 and 8,000 miles a month on my car. And when I got a police car, because I was a detective and they had to give me another vehicle, I put 5,000, 8,000 miles on their car. If you've ever been in law enforcement or you had a military vehicle or something like that, or you had a company car, there's a fleet and you get to bring it to, there's typically, if your organization is big enough, there's a mechanic. There's an in-house mechanic at the police office, the sheriff's office I used to work at. And the state had one too. So whenever something's wrong with your car, you bring it to the in-house mechanic shop. He would get tired of saying, Will, how are you putting all these miles on your car? Man, I guess I don't know, bro, working a lot of leads, I guess, man, trying to stop crime. I don't know. Man, please, I was doing meetings. I was going to meetings. I was going to events and I was breaking the law. Not supposed to take that car to do nothing other than police work. I was taking that car anywhere it needed to go with the gas card. And if I was out of the county and I had to use the gas card, then I would pay in cash because I didn't want the gas card to come back and say, why is he filling up his gas tank in Tampa, Florida? That don't make no sense. Why is his gas card getting pinged in Tampa, Florida? I would pay cash. So I'm not telling y'all that listen, I'm not even telling you to operate deceitfully and move like that with your employer. I'm just telling you what I did to get financially free. I didn't miss an event. I don't care where it was or who was there. I'm not missing no event. I don't care how much it cost. If I had to sleep in the car, I really didn't care because the people that had the lifestyle I wanted told me what they did, not what they were doing, what they did. And so I said, I'm going to be that hardcore and that committed. So that's why it didn't take me the full 5 years to make the money I needed to make, because I was just operating at a level of insanity that I do not even recommend for people. I didn't see no football games for 2 years, no birthdays, no holidays. If it was anything going on, I was working that business because I had to get it done in less than a year. I didn't have the luxury to do it. So am I telling you to do that? No, a lot of y'all will burn out. Not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all will just burn out, man. It won't work for you. But I got to tell you with transparency what I actually did. And then when social media came out, it was no different. It was no different. I didn't understand social media. I just knew I saw a bunch of people in network marketing making posts, and I didn't like the results they were getting. So I started going into the messenger. And is it harder work? Yes. Messaging people is way harder. Messaging 20, 30 people in 2 days is hard than just to make a post. It's just harder. But is it more effective? Yes, because people feel connected to you, like you really care about them because you're taking time out of your day to reach out to them. Now, I will tell you, that's just how I made a bunch of money up front so I could retire. One thing I will also tell you, it will take about 5 years for you to make that money stable. And I think that was Coach Seymour's best point. I mean, he had a ton of great points. That was my favorite point, is that someone like that who made that amount of money, and he went from 5,000 to 100,000 in less than 5 years. He just turned the switch. Okay. But what he was telling you is it takes time to make your business stable and residual and keep coming in. Anybody can go hard in the paint for 90 days or 60 days and make a bunch of money. Do you want it to last? If you don't have the 5 year mindset, like Coach Seymour talked about, it's not going to last. And that's what happened to me with my first company. I didn't have that 5 year mindset. I said, I'm about to make 6 figures in 6 months. I'm about to go off because I needed to. I was literally starving, literally broke, literally starving. I didn't have a choice. But it wasn't residual. That was just the work I was putting in. It took time. It took about 5 years for it to become super solid, multiple 6 figures a year, permanently, no matter what company. It took about 5 years. But Will, why did it take 5 years? It took 5 years because you have to give your team some time to mentally mature and grow. That's what it is, not you. You might be ready right now to go all out, and I recommend you do. But it is going to take about 5 years. I don't know why. It just does. It takes about 5 years for your team to mature and to get to the level of desire and skill that you are at. And remember, most people have jobs, so they're doing all of this part-time. All of this is being done part-time. So you right on time, you right on track, don't get frustrated, and you personally can crank it up anytime you want and make a bunch of significant income. But if you want it to be stable to the point where you can live the life like Coach Seymour lives, that man has no boss to speak of. He did not get in people 2 weeks' notice. When he was just fed up and he went into the office and they said, you got this gift card, this 97, after he had given them a month straight in literally a COVID environment, he's the only one putting in work, and that's the best you can do. He didn't give him 2 weeks. He was like, all right, I'm out. I'm over it. Bye. I'm out. And that's the type of stuff that you can look forward to if you don't like your job. You can build it to the level like he did and have a very similar experience. I have one too, but let's move on. I promised y'all that on this particular call, we were going to give you some more reasons. It's about 30. We're going to cover another 5 or 6 tonight about why people quit. And before I give you this list, and we're going to do a quick recap of the last 5, then I'm going to give you like 5 more. I want you to understand, no matter which one of these reasons, these are all very good reasons why people do quit the business within that 90-day period, like Coach Seymour told you. He told you exactly what most people do. I'm going to tell you why. And we didn't even coordinate on this call tonight. I had no idea that's it, but that's how it always happens. With Miriam, Cosimo, Coach Marcus, when you on the same page and you want to see the company explode, this is what it is. So remember, as you hear these reasons why people quit, I recommend you write these down so you can make sure that you don't fall in any of these traps and you can have a high retention rate for your organization. But remember, no matter what these reasons are, we all experienced them at some point and we still didn't quit. You want to have a 4%er mindset, think about all these reasons. And even if it's something valid for you, you still didn't quit, you still here. Okay. So that's what I want to explain to you. I went through every one of these reasons. It happened to me personally. I still didn't quit. But these are the reasons why a lot of people quit. You don't have to quit because of these. But if you know about them, it's easier for you to warn people about them and avoid them. Okay. Number one, remember, was no goal setting. If you don't have your top 4 reasons locked in, your top 20, if you don't know why you're doing this business, that's why a lot of people fail. Okay. We talked about that one. Number 2, why do people quit? They get surprised by rejection. Nobody ever warned them and said, when you start talking about this business to people, some people will call it a pyramid scheme or a scam. Some people won't believe in it. Some people would say, I knew somebody who did one of them things back in the day and they ain't make no money. You have to warn your new reps about that beforehand so that they don't fall for it when it happens. They push you anyway. Number 3, people get brought in under false pretenses. That happened to Coach Seymour before. It happened to me before. A lot of people get brought into the business with some hype and stuff that really ain't real. And that's unfortunate because when they find out it ain't real, they hitting the door. Okay. Number 4, the promise of building under them is not fulfilled. Now that's the issue right there. Like when Coach Seymour brought in his guy and put him in the organization on the power leg with all of that volume and all of those orders, Coach Seymour did exactly what he said he was going to do. I'm going to make sure you're in a position where your organization is getting built. It happened for that guy. Now that guy didn't want to go do no work apparently, which is crazy. So that's not on Coach Seymour. A lot of people say things like, I'm going to bring you in, I'm going to put people under you, I'm going to make sure you have some volume coming from somewhere, and they don't actually do it. They don't fulfill the promise. So here's the thing. You can promise people all day that you'll build under them and you'll help them grow this, that, or a third. But here's the thing. You actually got to do it. Don't say that unless you're ready, able, and willing to do it. Okay? You got to do it if you're going to promise it. Because if you promise it and you don't do it, they out of here and they should be. I didn't quit when that happened to me, but at the same time, a lot of people quit because it happens to them. Number 5, the how to. Why do people quit? The how to. The how to do it seems too complicated. Let me see. Hold on. Coach Seymour got comments in the chat. Let me see. I can pull those up. Hold on one second. Nope. Can I do that? Yeah, it took him 8 months to get. Oh, I can't. Oh God, yeah, that's correct. But that volume, that's bananas. But that again, that person probably doesn't have a real reason why they were doing the business in the first place, man. They never gave you. You asked them for the top 4 reasons, they wasn't giving them to you. Like I'm like, okay. So here's number 5. The how to do the business either seems too complicated or it's out of their comfort zone. Okay. Now, with me, how to build a business and how to talk to people and what to say, it required me to watch videos. It required me to read some books and do some audio books. But the bottom line is, if it seemed complicated, but I knew the person telling me had the money and the lifestyle I wanted, I was going to figure it out. A lot of people don't want to figure it out and it's too complicated, so they quit. Okay, so just understand that it may seem too complicated for some people, or it's not in their comfort zone. You might be the type of individual that says, I'm gonna get out my comfort zone and I'm gonna make it work. If so, I salute you. But remember, a lot of people are not like that. So that's why they quit. Okay, here's some new reasons. Number 6, why do people quit? The sponsor or upline is not supportive or accessible. That happens all the time, and that's the reason people give for quitting. Well, I couldn't get no help from nobody. My sponsor upline wasn't there for me. Okay, well, my sponsor quit. Coach Marcus' sponsor quit. I'm pretty sure Coach Seymour's sponsor quit. Like our sponsor, I'm pretty sure Miriam's sponsor in some capacity might have quit. One of them might have quit or something like that. Okay, so we didn't quit. So don't let that be a reason for you to quit, but that is a reason some people quit. So when you sponsor people, make sure that you are available and or supported. Look, Missy said hers quit. Sponsor out of here. Yeah, we don't need a sponsor to be successful. We don't need a sponsor to be successful. We don't need that. All right. But some people feel like they do. And especially if you haven't sponsored 1 billion people, you should have time to work with your folks. There's no reason for somebody who's not at six figures or higher to not have time to work with you. And that's crazy. All right. Number seven, this hadn't really happened to us, but I know it's happened to some people. Leaders get too relaxed around the team. Okay, when you start getting up to that level of rank and you become a diamond and you become 50K or even 100K and beyond and things of that nature, you can, and we go out, you know what I'm saying? We go, anybody gonna be in Vegas, put a one in the chat. We always have a good time in Vegas. But the bottom line is you'll notice that our leaders, regardless whether or not they drink or not, our leaders are never drinking and smoking and acting crazy all in front of people. How many people have ever been at a company where y'all went to a company event and the leaders is turning up a little too much, man? The leaders is they doing a little too much. Like I was uncomfortable watching some of these folks at companies I was with. Like, man, is he good? Is she all the way drunk? What is happening over there? You can't do that. You just can't. If you do that, go find and do it on your own time, but don't do it around the team. That's going to hurt you a lot to not operate in some semblance of modesty and professionalism. Look, the health, especially in the health industry. Golly, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for all my team leaders that are smokers and drinkers. I get it. I'm not judging, but that is a huge reason why your team is not growing like it is. Even if people don't know that you be smoking and drinking, it's your spiritual person inside you is communicating to people. I don't really take my health seriously. I'm gonna tell you take your health seriously and talk about this income, but I'm going to deviate, and it's a subconscious conversation that takes place. You don't even have to say nothing. All right. Number 8. People quit because they do not feel like they are appreciated by their upline, and that's recognition. And I can tell you personally, especially when you have a team of any size at all, it is going to be very, very, very difficult to recognize everybody. You just can't. There's just not enough time in the day. And then people will look at you as a leader. Now, they'll never tell this to your face, but they will tell other people, man, well, they got time to do this. They got time to travel and do this. They got time to do this. They got time to make posts and they go to do on vacations with their family. They can't time to recognize me. See all that? That's a person who was not loved properly by either their parents or caretakers, and they need more validation. They need that validation, man. They're not here to be successful, because if they were being successful and making the income and not just the ranks, because the ranks they're great, they just become so easy. And everybody and anybody should be doing it. So congratulations to all our new diamonds. That's exactly what y'all should have did. I'm just being honest. But as far as the income side of it, you're going to be very hard pressed to recognize every single individual and every single person that ever does anything when you got a large team. It's going to be very difficult. The best you can do is recognize people who come to events because they are sacrificing to come into events. And even if they don't want to come to events, but they still want to be recognized, like my mentor told me, you want recognition, earn it. Be so good that it'll be undeniable. Build a team so big and do so much volume that the company is literally forced to recognize you. They have to. People have to, they have to recognize you as the latest and greatest, this earner, six-figure earner, seven for $500,000. They can't deny, you want recognition, go out there and take it. But some people aren't built like that. And if you're not babying them or wiping their butt or rubbing them on the back the whole while when they're going through their journey, they're going to be upset with you, not realizing that if you did that with everybody, you would never be successful. Okay. But that is a reason why people will quit. They don't feel that they're appreciated and they don't get that recognition. A lot of those people aren't really plugged in regardless, but they still expect you as a leader to be an amazing mind reader and to know everything that's going on. Don't even try. Recognize the people you personally sponsor to the best of your ability as best you can. Make it to events and make sure that they are recognized at events. And that is one of the best things you can possibly do. If you have time, you can definitely recognize them on social media. That's a great balance to do that whenever you can for people in your team when you can. It'd be great for you. All right. Next up, number 9, why do people quit? Upline example is not duplicatable. Some people are not duplicatable. This is why systems are so important. Okay, some people can come into this business because they got 20, 30 years of experience and they got big old teams from other companies, or they may be a salesperson in real life and sold real estate and cars, or maybe like one guy who was on our team who was a retired NBA professional. It's easier for him to come in and just sponsor people because, hey, this is what I'm doing right now. That's not duplicatable. You need systems. If it's not duplicatable, like a Facebook post or a Facebook message or a text message or a drop card or inviting somebody for coffee or doing a Facebook Live so people can hear from you, like that, all of that is duplicatable, but some things are not. And if your systems are built around things that are not duplicatable, people might quit. All right. Number 10, okay, tough one. Leaders lacking humility. Sometimes people quit because the leaders lack humility. And I want to say this very clearly. A lot of times, it's not that the leaders are acting conceited or proud. It's not it at all. A lot of times, it's people who don't have those results, and seeing those results make them feel inferior. Just seeing the results. You got people join the same time as me and then made $500,000, and I done made $2,000 in 6 years. What it was, Coach Seymour? He made $2,000 in 6 years, something like that, right? So just understand that not that person. I don't know that person, but a person like that. When they see your results and you growing, it might make them feel some type of way. Now, me, when I see people winning, I want to win big. I get competitive. I get super ultra competitive. Okay. And that's a healthy attitude to have in this type of business. But to say leaders lacking humility, if you're going to use that as an excuse to quit, you could not quit. You can become a leader and you can lead by the right example. You can do that, and you can change the leadership culture by becoming a leader and earning it. But other people are going to quit and say it's because of lack of humility. And remember, do not confuse humility with confidence. When I say some leaders lack humility, I mean they have some type of false pride, and that's very offensive. Like, I don't even like that. I don't like it. There's nothing about false pride. Like, earn it and help other people do it. All right. He said he wanted to prove to him. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, no, indeed, no. Yeah, coach, they crazy. They wilding. They're wilding right there. Wilding. And here's the thing. I'm just want to make a quick point before we go to number 11. I'm gonna do two more. We'll wrap it up with some stuff. Uh, we're running a little bit long. It's the last one till Sunday, so stick with me, y'all. Stick with me. Coach Seymour just said that people are asking sometimes about, how much you make it, a stat, or a third. And sometimes they do it in a very disrespectful way, because at no other career in the world, if you're a firefighter, if you work in corporate America, nobody ever will ask you what you make. If you work at a school teacher, nobody, hey, how much you making as a school teacher? Nobody ever asks that. But in this industry, sometimes people feel comfortable doing that. Now, there are several ways to handle it. But I'm gonna tell you, I handle it different than a lot of people, so I'm not gonna recommend you doing that. What I will tell you is this: if a person asks you a question like that, they're already probably not the right person to be in this business. That's what I've learned. If they're gonna ask you that, regardless of whether you made $1 million or you made 100, it's that person is probably not going to be the right fit for one of your 2 or 3 people you need to go to the next level. I'm gonna tell you, you probably need to cut that. It's probably not gonna work out because of it's telling you so much about that person. Now, here's the funny part. Here's the funny part about it. When I was first starting, I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better about how to handle stuff like that when I first started. I didn't have coaches like Coach Marks and Coach Seymour who could educate me on how to handle those questions when they came. If you was on this call last week and the week before, Coach Seymour gave you everything you needed to know with the yes but training that he did. I hope y'all saw the recording. If not, you missed out on a master class in handling objections. But let's say, for example, this is a true story that's happened to me. When someone asked me how much I made, and I was like, oh, I made like $800, you know what I'm saying? Like my first week or whatever, I was excited. But again, the packages were like over $1,000 back then. So it was easy to make $800 because you're selling $1,300 packages, not $10 or $100. So don't think, oh. And I told him, it was like, all right, man, well, let me know when you're making some real money. I was like, ugh, all right, cool. And I kept building. And I remember I got up to like 14, 15, 16,000 a month, a couple months after that. They're like, hey, man, I'm making real money, man. I made 15 grand this month. Next month, it's going to be even more than that. And and I thought he was going to join. Remember, this is naive me. My first 6 months in the business, I didn't know no better. And I told the guy, I'm making real money now, man. I know you ain't making that. Let's go to work. He was like, oh, 16. Oh, that's a lot, man. You must have had to work really hard for that, man. I don't have time to work that hard. And it taught me a valuable lesson. No matter what the answer is, whenever somebody asks you that, if it's low, medium, or high, it's never going to be the right answer. It's never going to be the right answer. So you might as well just ignore it. It is not going to be the right answer because you're not talking to the right person. All right. Number 11, why do people quit? because they run out of prospects. In the social media age, I cannot believe people even say that. In the paid leads and traffic age, I can't even believe people say that. But people will say, I ran out of people to talk to. Is that true? Absolutely not. They just never worked on the skill of lead generation. They don't know how easy it is to tap into LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the grocery store. They have no idea. But that tells me they weren't taught properly. But my point is, that is the reason why some people quit. So make sure they don't run out of people. Make sure you teach them social media. All right. And then we'll stop at number 12. We'll pick up some more on Sunday. And so there's something else I want to cover for you before we wrap up. Number 12, people quit because they're not making enough money to keep them in the game. They're not making enough money to keep them in the game. Now, if you're not making enough money in this industry, whose fault is that? That's it. You got it. That's the only. There is nobody else's fault that it is, but that is a reason why some people will tell you that they're quitting. All right. So all of those reasons, just remember, those are all valid reasons that people will say when they quit. And we got another 20 of them to give you. But here's the thing. I experienced every one of those reasons at some point in my career, and I didn't quit. I know our leaders on our team have experienced every one of those reasons at some point, and they didn't quit. So you don't have to quit just because you experience some of these things. And I highly recommend that you don't quit, even though you experience some of these things, because like I told you at the beginning, it's well worth it. All right. Now let's shift in the last maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I want to cover with you just a little bit about the way that this $10 Go to Sauna program is really opening up. Now, I don't know about y'all, but have you ever had an easier time sponsoring anybody into anything ever? I have not had an easier time. I have not had an easier time sponsoring people ever. I just have not experienced it. It may exist. I have not experienced it. Now, here's something you got to realize, and this is a success principle. The biggest strength of anything is also its biggest weakness. The biggest strength of anything is also its biggest weakness. Okay. The biggest strength of the $10 program is that it's $10 and you're getting thousands of dollars in value. But the downside of that is it's only $10 and you're getting thousands and thousands of dollars in value. And typically people do not respect or appreciate things that don't cost them a lot. Number one. Number two, because it's a small amount, you're only getting $3 of the $10 per person you sponsor, which if you think about it though, is really big. 30% is huge. If I could get 30% and be a car salesman, I would go work at the Lamborghini dealership in Dallas and I would sell 2 or 3 cars a year and I make hundreds of thousands of dollars. But nobody's paying out 30% in no industry. It doesn't even exist. It exists here in our industry. And that's 30% flat without the bonuses and without the matrix. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. Now, I want to explain to you something as we close that will sound weird at first. This is going to sound wrong. All right. But with the Go to Sauna program, with this $10 program, and all the other products that we buy are just stuff that we want. We get our line, we get our prosperity oil. I think they should change prosperity oil to good luck. They should call it good luck. Something like that. Because it is, you go into the casino and you're going to have fun, you're going to Vegas, you better have your prosperity oil. The stories we have of people who use that prosperity essential oil and then just find money on the ground, or they win something, or they get a free this or free that. It's always fun. It's always wild. So please have a bottle when you go to Vegas. I'm going to have 2. All right, I'm going to bathe in that before I leave. All right. But with this program, let me tell you something. It's going to sound wrong at first. If you're looking to make money with the Go to Sauna, the $10 digital part, don't worry about the big commissions. Now that sounds weird. Will, you was multiple 7-figure earner. You was the first 6-figure earner ever. Go to Sauna. You telling us not worry about big? Listen, this is a different program. This $10 entry is the weirdest thing ever. Okay. So the people who are going to be obsessed with big commissions with that early, they're going to miss how it really goes. All right. Now let me explain. Most income models are going to ask, like in real estate, how much can I make per person? Like real estate, how much can I make for this sale? What's my commission on this $1 million house on the sale? Something like that. That question is going to create pressure. because they got to have it. And pressure kills scale. It kills duplication. The Go Design a $10 program is going to force you to ask a different question. How many people can this matrix get in it without resistance easily? And we know that that's over 500,000 people. We know the matrix will hold over 500,000 for each person. Each of you has a matrix with over 500,000 positions. Let me just be clear. So you're not going to run out of room. If you run out of room, you're so rich it won't matter. But and then even then you have the check match, and the check match continues helping you earn even if the people are not within your 500,000 spots. The check match will still earn generationally regardless of where that person is, and that's very strong. So you're not going to miss out on any money. But I want you to think about how many people, who knows how much we get paid from the matrix from a $10 position? How much do we get per person? Who knows that? Okay, okay, so because what, $2.98 from somebody we sponsor. What about people we didn't sponsor that just happen to be in the matrix? How much do we get from them on Mondays? If we didn't sponsor them and they just happen to be in our group, how much do we get, regardless of where they came from? So ignore the $3 you get per person. Let's talk about how much you get for all the people that you didn't sponsor. Because your matrix, if it's 1,000 people, you didn't sponsor 1,000 people. You might have sponsored 5 or 10. Okay, you get 60 cents per person. 60 cents per person. Now I want you to think about that. That's not hype. That's not sexy. That's not motivation. That is inclusion. And I want you to think about this. This is a mental reframe. We've never had to talk about it like this before. This is why 60 cents matters. 60 cents matters for the same reason $10 matters. 60 cents or $10 is too small to argue with. It's too small to argue with. Nobody's arguing over $9.95. It's too small a fear. People don't fear that. Back with my first company, we had to sponsor people at $1,320 plus tax and shipping. That was all we had to sell. So people would fear that. Even if they could afford it, they would think, I can't get nobody to join at $1,320. That's why the network marketers are that people typically sponsor 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 people, because they fear the amount. $10.60 is too small to argue with. It's too small to be scared of. It's too small to overthink. Doesn't require a lot of thought. It's $10, man. You in or you out, bro. I got 20 other people to talk to. And that's why it works. Because when something feels small, people say yes. When people say yes, the system and a team will grow. And when the system and the team grow, the numbers are going to get big, and it's not going to take a lot of effort. Like, you should be able to secure a $10 sponsorship over the phone or on Messenger or text without even getting on the phone. It's not difficult to do when you use the videos and the tools that we have. Now, let's talk about, like Coach Seymour said, the math is not going to lie. The numbers, people will lie all day. The numbers are not going to lie. If you got 100 people in your matrix, that's $60. And it's just 10. This is not talking about the fact that people like myself and many others are at 100 BV. A lot of y'all are at 50 BV or 100 BV. Okay, I think I'm at like 110. So you're going to have people that do way more than 10 BV. Trust and believe that. Especially when they figure out how good the products are and what they do, for sure. For sure. Because it makes no sense for you to buy laundry detergent from Target or Walmart or Amazon when you can buy laundry detergent from your back office, or you can buy it from yourself. That doesn't make any sense to go spend money on soap or deodorant from Target or Walmart when you can get that from your Go Designer store. Just doesn't make any sense. Like, why? Okay. If you have 1,000 people in your group, and it's non-toxic, thank you, man. You got 1,000 people in your group at 60, you get 60 cents a piece, that's $600. And it is not hard to build a group of 1,000 people in a month. I'm going to tell you a cool way to do it in a little bit. I know y'all are wondering. I'm going to tell you one. But we do that very quickly. 1,000 people is the minimum. If your group grows to 10,000 people, that is $6,000 a month for you. That's enough for most people to retire. And remember, you didn't have to bring these people in. You had to bring in at least 3. Some of you are going to bring in far more because it's too easy once you get it figured out how to do it. Okay, but if your organization is 100,000 people, that's $60,000 a month. Now you're talking life-changing money. You at a different level now. You at the front seat at the playoff games now. 60,000 is a different. It's different. I'm telling you, it's different. It's different. It's just different money. Okay. It's the same system. Nothing changed except for the scale. It's the same action. It's the same $10. It's the same 60 cents. The big money did not come necessarily from big effort. It came from duplication. And it's easier to duplicate $10 than anything else I've ever seen. Okay. Now, if you want to sell the big packages, 200 BV, you can continue to do that. Okay. But remember, the bigger the package, the more selling skill it takes. The bigger the package, the more explaining and education it takes. The bigger the package, the bigger the auto ship every month, it takes more convincing and constant motivation. And again, it can happen that way. It's happened that way for all of us to this point. But this particular thing is so weird because $10 doesn't threaten people. It doesn't require belief. It doesn't require personality. It only requires participation. And I will say this, low resistance beats high excitement every time. Low resistance. Why is Amazon so popular? Because it's easy with Amazon to just click buy now. My stuff's all saved. There's no friction. With this $10 digital program, there's no friction. You pay the 10 bucks, read the emails, do the personal development. Let's talk to some people. Your brain and my brain and the brain of prospects is not going to reject 60 cents. It's not going to reject $10. It's not going to activate fear. It's not going to trigger a risk analysis like, man, it's $10. I'm going to need that to pay a bill. But 200 or 300, it'll do that. So with this particular program, people should be joining you faster and you don't have to stop at 3. You just don't. Okay. It's going to duplicate easier. And because it's only $10, it's going to stay longer. And by the time people see they're making commissions, they realize, man, wait a minute. If I'm at 20 BV or 50 BV or 100 BV, I get paid more for the same amount of work. Yes. When they figure that out, they will upgrade on their own. All right. You're not selling income. You're offering access. Access is going to scale much faster. All right. So if a brand new person who's really looking to do this $10 program, if they can't explain it in one sentence, it probably won't duplicate. It's not like the other aspects of our green organics businesses. It's not like the science behind Nigella sativa. It's not like the science behind the 60 trace minerals you get in fulvic acid. It is 10 bucks. This is a sentence that should make sense. How does it work? We get paid small amounts from a lot of people through duplication. That's the way the pay plan works. Yes, we break down the 3x12 because we want you to understand how to grow a team of 1,000 or 10,000 people. We want you to know how to do it. But to get started, that is unnecessary. We get paid small amounts from a lot of people through duplication. That's it. No slideshow, no pitch, no personality. That is how things work. Look at McDonald's. Does McDonald's have any item on McDonald's menu? Do they have any item that's $50? Does McDonald's even have a single item that's $10? No, you can get the combo meals, but there's no item at McDonald's that's $10. That is why McDonald's will make more money than Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. McDonald's will make more money than a Gordon Ramsay restaurant in Vegas. Okay, they have an MVP, and MVP stands for minimum viable purchase. McDonald's got that dollar menu. Okay, we get paid small amounts from a lot of people through duplication. It's just like you bought a virtual McDonald's franchise. Okay, you don't have to be there. You do have to start it and hire the manager and the fry cook and this. You got to get a couple of people involved 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 60, whatever. You do have to get some people involved and you have to train them the same way you would if you started a McDonald's. But after your 3, 4, 5, 6 people find their 2, 3, 4, 5 people and it's duplicating, you, like the owner of the McDonald's, can go home if you want. You just pop in maybe once a week to make sure everything's still going smooth. It's that type of speed if you want this business to work. It's not about getting rich fast, but your business should move fast. Okay? It should move fast. Now, we're quietly building 60 cents so wide that it shows up every month, whether you work or not. And a $10 auto ship is very rarely going to get cut off. Ask Planet Fitness. Why is Planet Fitness making more money than any other gym? It's like $10 or $15 a month. Okay. Just understand that conceptually. All right. Now I'm gonna give you two things as we close the call that are working. One that's it's proven to work. The other one, I'm not gonna give too many details on it because I'm still building it out and I get to test it out tonight and tomorrow. So I'll let you know on Sunday if it works. But one of the things definitely works, and this is on Facebook. Assuming you've done what we teach everybody to do, which is use Facebook people who you should know that Facebook recommends to you and Facebook groups, you should have over 4,000 Facebook friends. I recommend about 4,500. If you have at least 4,000 Facebook friends, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't have 4,000 Facebook friends yet, put a 2 in the chat. It's okay. I'm just trying to kind of see what we're working with. You should have at least 4,000 Facebook friends. At least. Okay. And if you don't, that's okay. You need to be adding people every day. You just do. And where do you find people to add? You go into groups about things that you like. You go into groups about things that you like. Find things that you like the Baltimore Ravens, the greatest football team of all time. You can go into that particular group, and I'm in all the Ravens groups, and I will make the same Ravens post in all of those groups. And everybody who like it or comment on it, that sounds like it's a new friend for me because they know football. They know football. Now, if you want to deal with some delusional people because you can't get life together, the Pittsburgh Steelers have some groups that you can get in. The Pittsburgh's in the Dallas Cowboy groups, and you can hang out with the weirdest. No comment. They weird over there, but you can find friends there who are weird like you. But if you want real solid people, it's the Ravens. Obviously, right? Okay. All right. My bad, Coach. My bad, I had to, because Coach Seymour be giving me the blues, man. This dude on his AI game, if y'all ain't seen, that's an enemy you don't want. Coach Seymour is an enemy you do not want. You don't want him as an enemy. We want him on your team, man. He wild. So here's the thing. So there it is. You be in those groups, Sean, exactly. So what I do is I use AI, right? Hopefully all of you was on our paid class. If you wasn't, at least you should have went to the free class. The replay is there. And I make an AI video to start my Facebook story. Then I take an image or AI video to put in the middle that talks about the business opportunity, the $10 business opportunity. Why? Because it doesn't require a lot of convincing or education. When I would put up in the middle Facebook story, oh, we have an opportunity that's $130 or something like that, I would still get responses, but the conversions were not near as much or near as easy in what it is now. And then the third thing I do, I'll put a third Facebook story up that's just another random entertaining post. Why? Because I wanted to draw people in. Okay, now I'm gonna give y'all some game right now. How many people put a 1 in the chat if you're using Sora to create AI videos? Put a 1 in the chat. I'm about to put y'all on. See if you are. If not, please go to YouTube, watch the free training, and get on this immediately. You'll have time to do it the next couple of days. We don't have no Zooms, and it's the holidays. All right. Now, a lot of you know that we don't just type our chats in Sora. For professionals, all right, Lee's still learning. That's wonderful. Wonderful. You're going to get it, Lee. If you're learning, you're on the right track. What is a better way to take your idea and create a Sora prompt other than typing something directly in Sora that you think of? What's a better way to get you a better result? Exactly. Coach Marcus got it. Chat GPT. Use Chat GPT to write your prompt and you copy and paste the prompt. Now, here's a tip. We're going to take it to another level. When telling Chat GPT to create your prompt for Sora, you tell it, I want to start my video with a viral hook 1 to 3 within the first 1 to 3 seconds. You tell ChatGPT, listen, I want you to create a Sora prompt for me around this idea, blah, 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 blah. But I want to start my video with a viral hook within the first 1 to 3 seconds. That one tweak alone is going to make people stop and click on your video at a far higher percentage than they would if you did not have a viral hook. You don't even have to know what viral hook means. ChatGPT knows. Trust me, we have trained it. It knows, okay? And that is going to bring your video quality from here to here, and people can't figure out why they click on it or why they can't stop watching it. It's the viral hook. It's something in the beginning that just throws off, it stops the scroll, okay? That will work for you. I've tested it and I know people that are also doing it. It will work for you. If you have enough Facebook friends, you need to have the one, see Missy, because you've been working, you know, it's learning, right? It's learning, it's machine learning. My chat GPT knows if you got it, it better start with a viral hook. I'm gonna be mad at it. It knows. I don't even tell it no more. It's gonna machine learn. All right. Now, so you make a post that's entertaining or something fun or catchy, then you have your business video, then you put something entertaining or fun or catchy on the back end. It could have you in it or not. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it's something entertaining so that you can see who's watching the second one. And people will and put the call of action in there, DM for details, DM for details. They will, and you can, and I don't tell Sora to create the DM for details. I wanted to spend as much of the 15 seconds or 25 seconds doing the video I wanted to do. I will type in text and put it there, DM for details, because you want to let people know what to do if they're interested. I've had at least 5, 6, probably 7 people in the last 24 hours reach out for details. Okay. And then you want to send them an opportunity video. Okay. And on my YouTube channel, if y'all go there, I do have a video. I think it's unlisted. If not, I need to make it unlisted. I have a video there that explains the $10 program in about 10 minutes. Now, you don't have to use that video. What you can do if you want, you can take that video and use it to get your word track together to create your own video. Or you can use HeyGen like we taught in class and make a generic video with a clone AI avatar of you. Okay, hold on. What Coach said in the chat? Hold on. And we almost done, y'all. Is this making sense? Is people, yeah, you can have it follow you on Facebook, Instagram. Yep, sure can. Sure can. Sure can. All right. So last thing that will come back, I'm gonna save this because I haven't tested this one out yet, but I'm working on something actually right now. I'm gonna get right back to them and get off of here. It'll be a second way to use Facebook to get people to take a look and ask you for information about the opportunity that I'm working on. But I'll finish that one tonight, test it out, and then if that works, I'll share it with you on Sunday. But the one I just told you about stories 100% works. It's fun, it 100% works, but you're going to need a large number of Facebook friends. So get into those groups, make content about the group, not content about your business. Make content about the group. If you a Gemini, be in a Gemini group. If you in the Steelers fan, I don't know why, but be in the Steelers group. Do the stuff. You a Bengals don't even have no fans, but if they did, you should be in the Bengals groups. Okay, I don't care if you're a Sagittarius. You should be. Twyla, don't look at me like that. Don't be like that, boy. My bad. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop messing with the Steelers. All right. But if you're a Sagittarius, you should be in the Capricorn groups too, and the Aries groups, and all the other groups. I don't believe in half that stuff. Be in them groups. Okay. And if you see a great post in the Aries group or the Capricorn group, take that post, change it to Gemini, and post that in the Gemini group. I'm in a group about possums, the little animals. I made an AI video about possums. It looked real. I posted it in the group. I got over 650 likes and hundreds of comments, and I'm just adding these people. This is good. You was in the possum group too, Cole? Or you saw it on Facebook? I put it in the possum group. People love possums. You should be, Greta, you should be in the squirrel group. They got them. That's where your friends are at. You should be in all the Taurus groups, Linda. Yes, yes. Okay, so that's the value of it. That's how you get your friends list up to 4,000 people safely. Okay, and then you can use that Facebook story feature with the 1, 2, 3. It will get people reaching out to you. Okay, it will get people reaching out to you. I'm telling you. All right, so try that. Thank you, Coach Seymour. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Coach Marcus. And again, with this $10 program, it is going to go really fast for some of you. Because it's just, there's no friction. All right. But we're going to talk more about that in the future. Thank y'all so much for your time. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful holiday week. If y'all need anything, please don't be afraid to reach out to myself or our leadership team. But I got to get right back to work because we are always trying to build teams and try to make it go faster or quicker for y'all. So you don't have to take as long as we did. All right. So Merry Christmas, everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. No Zooms till Sunday. If y'all need anything in between then, don't be afraid to reach out to us on text or social media, and I will see everybody in Vegas. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Katrina King. All right, talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good night.